A rich young man was not proud of his father. His father was very poor and all he had were 2 pairs of worn-out shoes. So the son tried to avoid his father as much as possible, and whenever he visited him, he would give his father some money so that he could buy himself new shoes. But the old man never bought new shoes for himself. He always told his son, "No, I don't need new shoes. These are comfortable." The son didn't believe it. He thought his father was just trying to make him feel guilty, so he would shake his head and leave. One day the son came home from college wearing brand new, expensive shoes. "Look, Dad, these are the shoes that I need and want. These are real quality shoes," he said proudly. The old man just nodded and smiled. A few days later, the son went to a party with his friends, and when he returned home at around 4 a.m., he noticed that his expensive shoes were completely worn out. In fact, they were in such bad shape that he couldn't even wear them anymore. Looking at his ruined shoes, the young man realized that his friends had played a trick on him. Angry and upset, he started to walk barefoot towards his father's house. It was about 1.5 miles, but he didn't care. All he wanted was to get to his father's house as fast as possible. When the young man was halfway there, he saw a pair of shoes on the side of the road. Without thinking twice, he put them on, and although they were big and wide, he continued walking. When he got to his father's house, the old man opened the door and asked, "Son, why are you wearing my shoes?" The young man looked down and realized that he was indeed wearing his father's shoes. Embarrassed, he took off the shoes and said, "I'm sorry, Dad. My shoes got ruined and I had to borrow yours." The old man looked at the shoes in his hand and said, "These aren't mine. These are your uncle's shoes. He gave them to me when he emigrated to America, so that I could work in the factory and earn some money. With this job, I was able to save enough money for you to go to college, and you know how much I wanted you to have a good life. That's why I never bought new shoes for myself. Instead, I saved every penny for you." The young man felt terrible. He couldn't believe he had treated his father that way. He threw himself on his father's neck and said, "I'm so sorry, Dad. I had no idea. Please forgive me." The old man patted his son on the back and said, "It's okay, son. Just promise me one thing." "Anything, Dad. Just tell me what to do." Never judge someone's sacrifice, no matter how much money they have. A true man does not measure wealth by the amount of money he has, but by the size of his heart and the value of his character. The young man hugged his father tightly and promised to always remember his words. From that day on, the young man worked hard to become a better person. He graduated from college and got a great job, and every time he saw a homeless person, he remembered his father and the shoes that had become a symbol of his father's unconditional love and sacrifice. Once upon a time, there was a king who wanted to hire a wise man to give advice to the people. The king posted an announcement throughout the kingdom, but only a few people showed up. The king was disappointed until an old man walked in carrying a big bag of tools. The king asked, "Are you here to give advice?" The old man said, "No, I'm here to fix your problems." The king was puzzled. "What do you mean?" The old man said, "I'm a problem solver, not a giver of advice. If you have a problem, bring it to me and I will solve it for you." The king thought for a moment. "That's a good idea, but how can you solve all kinds of problems?" The old man smiled and said, "Because I have all the right tools." The king agreed and hired the old man on the spot. So if you face any problems in life, remember that just like the old man with his bag of tools, Allah also has solutions to all your problems. You just have to ask him sincerely. And like the king, you might receive an answer that you didn't expect, but that will change your life forever. If you liked this story, share it with your friends and family and follow us for more content.